Yo-ho!
You and your crew made quick work of Pierre Lafitte in our lost quest, and now you must face Charlotte de Berry, the pirate who stole almost all of King George's treasury. And believe you me, it'll take much more than brute force to defeat a clever pirate like her.
Ha! Have at you primrose popinjay!
No!
Yarr!
Scoundrel!
Pardon us, Captain. We were just having a bit of fun, yar. But right you are. Pierre Lafitte's challenge was tough, but Charlotte de Berry will be quite a foe. She took almost all of the crown's gold and money, and if we don't get it back, our kingdom will be broke.
What do you mean, if you don't?
How did you get on this boat?
You surely will not outsmart me if you cannot even figure that out.
Quiet, you!
Ooh, temper. It will be much simpler than that, love. Just meet me at a game of wits and you can have all the treasure I've got. The king's money and any other loot upon my ship. I'll even tell you where Ching-Shi is. That is, if I think you stand a chance against her. What say you?
Can you and your crew outsmart Charlotte de Berry? Perhaps we'll ask an expert first.
Hi, I'm Mrs. Schmelter and I teach at the new Apex Academy in East Cleveland, Ohio. Today I'm going to teach you about fractions and proportional reasoning. So here's some things to remember when you're working with fractions and proportions. Remember, a fraction is a part to a whole. So you would write a part over your whole. Okay? We can also think of that as is over of, which will come in handy later. One more thing to remember is that percent is per 100. So a percent is always out of 100. So again, our percent is always going to be out of 100. And we need to remember also that a proportion compares two equivalent ratios or two equivalent fractions. So proportions compare two ratios. And another word for ratios is fractions. Okay, so we're always going to have one missing part of our equation. So here's what we do when a percent is unknown. When percent is unknown. So for example, you would have a question that would say, what percent of a number, in this case we'll use 100, is 25. Okay, so the question is what percent of 100 is 25? So we have to set up our proportion. Remember, when we're setting this up, we need to remember is over of, and also that the percent is always out of 100. So I'm going to set up my fraction bar, equal sign, fraction bar. So right now I'm going to start with what's unknown, which is the percent. So we're going to use an X to represent what we don't know. And remember, percent is always out of 100. So 100 is going to go on the bottom. Now for the second part of our proportion, we need to use our is and our of number. Our is number is right here. It tells us from the problem. Is 25. So 25 is our is number. It's going to go on top of our proportion. And our of number is also straight from the problem. Of, let me do a different underline, 100. So the of number goes on the bottom of our proportion. From here, how we solve a proportion is to cross multiply. So I'm going to draw my X. This is me multiplying diagonally across. So X times 100 we write as 100X equals 100 times 25, again multiplying diagonally. So that's 2,500 or 2,500. And of course, to get x by itself, we divide. We use inverse operations. Right now it's being multiplied, so we need to divide in order to solve for x. And so finally, our answer is going to be x equals 25. That's all the information you need to complete your mission. You can do it.
Thank you much, teacher. Now that we've had that refresher, we'll make short work of this challenge.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yo-ho!